Hey guys, so this past June I was able to compete in the first ever HDWOC 2017, which stands for Hidalyn Diaz Weightlifting Open Championship. She was the silver medalist at Rio 2016 for weightlifting, and she ran her own meet in the Philippines, which was an international meet with different lifters coming from different areas of the world. This was my first international meet, and it just so happened that I was on vacation, so I signed up and the stars aligned and I was able to compete internationally while on vacation. So I peaked for 2 weeks and I had to train in some gyms in the Philippines. I had to scout out different gyms that I could train in. Luckily, I didn't have to train too much, just I think 2 to 3 days before I had to compete, so it wasn't too bad. Found some gyms, worked out there, and things were feeling really good. So prep for the meet felt pretty good, and it was just a matter of time before I stepped on stage and did my thing.
Nice! White, put it. The white, put it. To white, left. Solid. To white, 100. Goodly.
So on the day of the meet, I was placed in the B group. Well, I was okay with that. When I found out when I was warming up, when I saw the start list, I realized that I probably should have been placed in the A group because I opened with 95 kilos and the last NAS before me was 72, which meant that I had to attempt all my lifts back to back to back. I had to follow myself, which obviously isn't ideal for maxing out. So I had to do 95, rest a minute to a minute and a half, do 100, same thing again, and then do 105. I managed to pull off 105 for snatch and 130 kilos for clean and jerk, which is surprisingly a 5 kilo increase from my last meet prior to this one, which was only a month before. So hopefully this means that I've improved, or it might just mean that I do better with shorter rest times, but again, it really depends on the day. I still had some issues with my jerk, which is why I missed my second attempt at 130, which means I couldn't try 135 because I wanted to make sure I posted a total with 130, which I've successfully made in the past, 135, but again, to be safe, I just went with 130 and I finished with that. Regardless, I finished with a 235 kilo total. I had to stay to watch the A group to see if I would place top 3 because after I lifted, the judges told me that I should probably stay because there is a chance that I can medal despite coming out of the B group. So I did. I think I waited around 2 hours before the A group went and I watched them compete. Seeing the guys in the A group compete kilo for kilo made me wish I was in Group A really, really bad, but obviously at that point I couldn't do anything because I already finished lifting. So all I could do was just watch and do some math and figure out if I was gonna make a medal or not. So the guy who finished ahead of me was 1 kilo ahead of me, 236, and the guy in first place totaled 238, and as a result I finished bronze in the 85 kilo class coming out of the B group. Overall, it was a great experience to compete internationally and also where my roots reside in the Philippines. Getting a medal was a cherry on top with this whole experience, but just living in the moment and going through the experience was great in and of itself. That's mainly why I joined. I don't think an opportunity like this comes too often, which is why I just had to do it. And whether the results were good or bad, I could say that I competed in an international meet. Before I go, I just want to say thanks to everybody who helped out and made this possible. My team over at ALP Training and the weightlifting team there, head coach John, and to the fellows at the UP Weightlifting Club who signed me up as an international athlete, who they didn't really believe I was going to compete because I was quote unquote going on vacation, but they still accommodated me. They were really nice and they made me experience this whole event, which was incredible, and I couldn't thank them enough for this experience.